The directory structure for roles is key because by utilizing it, Ansible can automatically load VARs files, tasks, templates, and handlers, allowing you to break your playbooks into logical components that are easily shared among groups. You can create the standard role structure by using the Ansible Galaxy command. A full list of options for Ansible Galaxy can be found by passing the -h flag for help. To create the structure, you first should create a roles directory in which to house your roles. So then you should change into that directory and then use Ansible Galaxy in it and then the name of your role. I'll call mine MariaDB. Now that it's created, let's take a look at what we have. At the top level, we have the name of my role, which is MariaDB. And inside that directory, we have several subdirectories, most of which contain a main YAML file. This is just a sample name that can be changed if you like, but I generally just leave it as is. So, what do all these subdirectories do for you in the context of a playbook? Well, if you call the role in your main playbook, then any main YAML file with content in it will be evaluated as part of the role. In other words, any tasks or handlers or VARs listed inside those files will execute as part of the role in the same order that they would in a playbook. Likewise, if you have a file that doesn't have any content in it, then Ansible will just ignore it. Now, in terms of the individual directories and what should go and where, we'll talk about that in a future lesson. But for now, I wanted to draw attention to directories that you may not immediately recognize what they're for. So, starting off with the defaults directory, this is where you're going to place any default variables for your role. And if you recall from our variables lesson, role defaults are the most easily overridden. So, these are similar to using the default Jinja filter. Just define variables in here as a backup plan, just in case the variables don't get defined elsewhere. The files directory is where you would place any files needed for your roles. These could be scripts, configuration files, RPMs, etc. And note that if you're not templating the files using Jinja, then they should probably go in the files directory. The meta directory is where you're going to place your role dependencies. However, that topic requires a bit more detail, so we'll talk more about that in a future lesson. Lastly, we have the test directory. As of Ansible 2.0, Galaxy has integrated with Travis CI to automate the role testing process. By default, a test directory is now created that contains a localhost inventory file as well as a basic playbook that's going to target your local machine and test your role. So if we take a look at those really quick, you can see that all it is it's just showing a localhost targeting in my inventory file. Similarly, my test.yml file is just targeting locally and running the role. Now, testing roles with Travis is a great habit to get into. So if you already use it, I would definitely utilize our built in functionality.